welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a cosplay makeup tutorial and the character of the day is Shinobu from Demon Slayer. I love her so much and her color palette really gives you a lot of freedom to play with, especially for cosplay makeup. Something I like to do with my makeup for cosplay is to really take inspiration from the character and their color palette and not just like what you see on screen. So I'll be getting into a lot of the details about the makeup and some of my techniques that I've learned, especially through the last few months where I've been cosplaying, but also just about makeup in general, so this doesn't have to be necessarily for cosplay. But I like to use complementary colors to their eyes or their hair or the whole costume, just to kind of pull the whole look together and get a little more creative with it instead of just doing like eyeliner and then a plain base. So that's kind of my overview of my cosplay makeup. Before we get started, I just want to mention all my social medias will be down below and all the products I use today will be listed, and if I missed a few, I'll be talking about them while I'm using them, so if you're curious, just skip to that part and I'll mention which product I'm using. But I'll try to have them all in the description. If I miss one, it'll be there. As always, Instagram is the social media I'm most active on. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can leave them in the description. But if you're new here, consider sticking around and subscribing, liking, commenting. Any of it really helps me out, and I really appreciate you being here. So let's go ahead and get into this tutorial today.
Whoa, girl, she looking rough. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and put in our contact lenses. Today I'm using Blytheye Violet from Oh My Kitty For You. And I'm going to use my little tools to help me put in my contact lenses because I don't want to touch them with my fingers. It kind of freaks me out. But anyways, these just make it a lot easier for those, especially if you're new to putting in contacts. I really recommend getting a pair of these. I wouldn't be able to put in contact lenses without them at this point. Then I'm going to go ahead with my Pore-fessionnel Primer from Benefit, and I'm just going to kind of warm that up on the back of my hand and put that in my T-zone, which means my cheeks, my nose, my forehead, and my chin to cover up my pores and make my complexion very smooth. This primer is a little bit more expensive than most. You get it at Sephora or Ulta, and a full size runs for about $30, but a good dupe to this is Baby Skin by Maybelline. I usually use Baby Skin instead, but I went ahead and went back to Benefit today. If you're new to primers, they basically target any problems you have with your skin, like hydration or oil, which I typically have very oily skin, so I recommend this one if you are more oily rather than dry. After smoothing your primer into your skin and making sure it's even, I'm going to go ahead and take my Maybelline Matte and Poreless foundation. I'm using shade 110, and I'm going to mix it with a LA Girl white color mixer for foundation because somehow this one is still too dark for me. I find that problem a lot when getting foundations. Even the lightest shade in drugstores and in Sephora are usually too dark for me still, so I always have to mix it with that white color mixer, and it really saves you a lot of money, especially if you don't want to go buy a whole new foundation. And now I'm just going to dot that all over my face and then go ahead and take my damp beauty blender. You don't have to get the super expensive ones, the cheap ones work just as well. And I'm just going to kind of pat that all over my face and make sure it's nice and even. And don't forget to blend down your neck. You don't want to have any foundation lines, especially if you have the problem like me where your foundation is usually a little too dark. Alright, and once that's nice and blended, you can go ahead and take your concealer. Today I'm using Morphe in shade C 1.5. You want it to be just a tad lighter than your foundation like normal, and it covers up your dark circles, any pimples, and brings the high points of your face forward. Once you have your concealer where you want it, you're going to go ahead and take that damp beauty blender once again and start blending it all over your face where you just placed it. When I blend my under eyes with my concealer, I also like to pat it on top of my eyelids to act as an eyeshadow base. An eyeshadow base just makes sure that your eyeshadow and eyeliner and all that is going to stay in place throughout the whole day. I know I look a little scary right now because I look super pale, but don't worry, we're going to warm up the cheeks and contour in just a moment. Alright, I'm satisfied with my blending, so then I'm going to move on to contour with Fenty Beauty's contour stick in the shade Mocha. And you're going to kind of put this on the outer corners of your face, around your forehead, on your chin, on your cheeks, just to make your face have a little more structure and all put together. I usually don't contour for younger characters, but since Shinobu, I believe, is around 18 or 19, she does have a little more face structure than, let's say, Nezuko or someone who would be of a younger age. And then taking your damp beauty blender, once again, we're going to blend that all in and make sure it's all blended into our foundation underneath. The Fenty Beauty stick I'm using, I believe, retails for about $20 to $30, but you can always just use bronzer instead. Alright, now it's time to lock in your base with a setting powder. I'm using Maybelline Fit Me's in translucent, and I'm also going to bake, which is where you leave powder on your face, underneath your eyes, and on your chin, and in your more oily areas for a couple minutes while I'm doing my eyeshadow, so it makes sure that my oils are in place all day and nothing moves. I only recommend leaving your powder on heavily like I am if you do have oily skin, or else it's going to make your foundation look kind of cakey. But if you do have drier skin, just kind of putting a light coat of powder all over your face will do the same job. Alright, and now taking my James Charles Morphe palette, and I'm going to use all the purple shades today. Starting with the white color, I'm just going to set that all over my eyes to make sure that the base we put on earlier with the concealer is all set in place and won't move. Then I'm going to move on to a light neutral color in the palette to kind of define my eyes a little more. After that, I'm going to go ahead and start with my purple shades and put it on the outer corners of my eyes and underneath a little bit, because we're going to put eyeliner on top and underneath your eyes later on. I'm just going to kind of keep using the medium purple shade and then again with the darker purple shade to create the definition in my eyes. Like I was saying in the intro, I'm going to use mostly purples today because Shinobu has the purple in her hair and her eyes as well, so it's going to bring the whole costume together and really make your eyes pop. I like to make sure that my costume and my makeup are cohesive. And now you can see where I was talking about how I bring my eyeshadow down a little bit underneath the natural fold of my eyes. That makes sure that your eyes look and appear a little bigger than normal. I would say that my eyes take me the longest because I like to make sure that everything is super blended out and blends in with the rest of my skin. Eyeshadow is definitely my favorite part of my cosplay makeup because I like to take inspiration from the character, like I said before, and kind of create an eyeshadow look with it, and that's super fun to me. Alright, and now that we have all of our matte shades down and blended, I'm going to go ahead and take a small flat brush and the shimmery purple shade in the James Charles palette, and I'm going to put that on the outer lid, and then take my Marc Jacobs Wild palette and use the light purple shade, applying that on the higher points of my eyelids and the inner corner. This will make sure your eyes are nice and bright and they'll look super pretty in pictures. Next, because you can't have too much glitter, I'm going to take my e.l.f. glitter liner and put that over the light purple shade from the Marc Jacobs palette. Alright, now we're going to move on to eyeliner. I'm using Kocho Black Magic, and I'm going to just start lining the shape of my eyes and then add a little wing out the side from my natural crease. I'm also going to draw a small line underneath my eyes where my bottom lashes are going to go in just a moment. I know eyeliner scares a lot of people, but practice really does make perfect. Next, I'm going to take a little angled brush. This is number 22 from Sephora, and then the darkest purple shade in the James Charles palette, and smoke out my eyeliner underneath. This is an optional step. I like to do this because I feel that it makes your eye shape look a little bit softer and not as harsh. And then taking my Too Faced Damn Girl mascara, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly coat my top lashes, but not my bottom ones. Also at this point, I'm going to wipe off the excess powder from before. Then grabbing my favorite lashes from Daiso and my Duo Lash Glue, I'm going to coat my lash band and wait about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to pop on my lashes. I like these lashes a lot because 1, they're super cheap, and 2, they're perfect for cosplay and that doll-like look. I got a pack of 3 of these from Amazon for about $12, I think, and they last a really long time. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and take my bottom lashes and pop those on the little eyeliner line that we made earlier. It's time for eyebrows, and since Shinobu does have darker hair and I have lighter eyebrows, I'm not going to cover my eyebrows and just go in with a dark purple shade and fill them in with the same angled brush from earlier. This dark purple shade is in my Morphe 35V palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my natural eyebrows. It really makes a big difference, and I recommend filling in your eyebrows to the color of your wig. Now onto blush. We're going to take this light pink blush in Kitty Pink, and I'm just going to put that on the apples of my cheeks and also somewhat use it as a bronzer because I want to make her look youthful and very healthy and overall just really cute. And I also like to put it on my nose. This creates definition in the face, and next we're going to move on to highlighter using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. I'm going to mix the pink and the rose gold shade and put that on my cheekbones, my nose, my eyebrow bone, and also my cupid's bow. This is most definitely my favorite part of my face makeup. For her lips today, I'm just going to put on some lip gloss. This is Smith's Rosebud from Sephora, and I just want to make sure my lips are nice and hydrated. Oh, and don't forget to put highlighter on your inner corners. Alright, now that the face makeup's done, I'm going to go ahead and grab my wig caps, and I usually put on at least 2 or 3 because I have longer, thicker hair, so this just makes sure my head is nice and flat so the wig doesn't look wonky. Also going to take 2 bobby pins and pin it in place on the sides of my head because her wig is a little heavier in the back and I want to make sure that my hair doesn't move underneath while I'm wearing it. Alright, and now grabbing my wig, I got this one from Cosplay and I also styled it a little bit just to make her bangs a little more poofy and curly. And I'm just going to brush it out and situate it on my head to make sure that my hairline isn't showing and that the wig looks nice and natural when it's put in place. Alright, and I think that wraps it up for Shinobu's makeup and hair. And now I'm going to show you the final look all put together.
Alright guys, so I think I'm going to cut off here today. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. It really helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. If you're from Instagram, as always, let me know below. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please let me know and it really means a lot that you're here. Thank you so much, and if I missed anything or you have any questions, of course, just leave them down below and I'll try to respond to them. If you want to reach me faster, Instagram is the best way to do so. I'll have all my social medias down below, like I said before. And yeah, if you have any ideas for future videos or anything you'd like to see from me, you can leave that down below as well. It really means a lot and the feedback is really helpful. If you have any ideas for future videos, please go ahead and leave them down below. I like to know what you guys want to see from me and it gives me the feedback that I need to kind of produce videos more curated for my viewers. I try to upload every Friday from now on, so if you're curious of what I'm going to be posting, I would check Fridays, and if not, I'll be updating on my Instagram whether or not there'll be a video this week. My schedule gets kind of busy, especially with school and work and all that, so I'll try to upload as consistently as possible, but if I ever miss a week, there's probably a reason. Alright, and I think that's it for today. As always, my name is Erin, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye!